Happy Easter. Actually, today is Ash Wednesday, 40 days before Easter. I'm recording this today, but you'll be watching this on Easter. Easter means I will be doing my 5-day fast, 120 hours of eating and drinking nothing but water. This is the fourth year in a row I will be doing this. I will link my past video somewhere on the screen. In the past videos, I mentioned that I will share my findings in a separate video, and this is that video. I am also going to be doing an experiment over the next 40 days, and I'll take you along. In my past videos, I mentioned that food, exercise, sleep, and stress are the four important components for good metabolic health. And metabolic health, or lack thereof, which is referred to as metabolic syndrome, is the cause of 90% of all ailments, including heart attack, stroke, and recently has been also associated with cancer, Alzheimer's, and dementia. Let's look at these four components. Exactly 1 year ago, I lost a loved one. Tomorrow, March 6th, is the 1 year anniversary. The last 1 year and the many months before that has been the most stressful time in my life. I'm not doing so great on stress right now. Sleep. About 1.5 years back, I switched my jobs. The new job role required me to work with my US counterparts more, so I had late evening meetings. I used to manage them okay, cutting them off at 10 p.m. I have always been an early riser as well. 11 p.m. to 5 a.m., 6 hours of solid sleep keeps me refreshed the next day. I thought I was doing great until I met my doctor on a regular yearly checkup. After talking to me and looking at my charts, he recommended that I take a sleep apnea test. I guess I'm not doing great on sleep as well. Exercise. My regular exercise routine is 3 days of yoga and 3 days of strength and cardio. I've been cycling for almost 3 decades now. About 2 years ago, inspired by a marathoner friend who's completed a marathon in all the 7 continents, I picked up running. I have finished a run as well. In the process, I had a meniscus tear on my right knee. Since then, I've been trying various physiotherapy and strengthening exercises to fix my knee with no success. So the past 2 years, exercise has been very irregular. Finally, food. Over the years, we at home have made some food changes that are now part of our lifestyle. At home, we are completely off of refined anything. No refined sugars, no refined flour, no refined oils, and also no inflammatory food like vegetable oils and milk. Personally, my breakfast every day is 2 cups of vegetables and 3 eggs. Lunch is mostly proteins. The little carbs that I consume comes from grains or fruits or some sweet indulgence. And I almost always skip dinner. That's all great. The problem happens when we eat out. Another problem is snacking. Any snack is almost 100% sugars and carbs. If you snack in the evening, any amount of skipping dinner or exercise is not going to help. So I would say food is 50-50. Okay, I'm not doing great on the 4 components of good metabolic health. Am I ready for a 5-day fast? That's what we're going to find out. And that's the experiment that I was talking about in the beginning of this video. Have the next 40 days to prepare myself. Our body is amazing, it's intelligent, and it always does the right thing. When we abuse it, it rejects the abuse for as long as possible before it gives up. For example, it takes 10, 15, or even 20 years of carb abuse before you become type 2 diabetic. Insulin puts up a fight for decades before it gives up. Our body is amazing in recovery also. If you are type 2 diabetic, what took 20 years to become type 2 diabetic can be reversed in 6 months. Yes, type 2 diabetics is completely and permanently reversible. Please consult a doctor who takes you out of metformin and puts you on a low carb diet, exercise, fasting, and no tablets as a course of action. Now, let's look at steps that I'm going to take. These are steps that you can follow as well. You can choose one or two items that work for you and make them part of your lifestyle, make them permanent. The first thing to do is to get off of sugar. This is the most hardest part as there will be sugar withdrawal symptoms. You may get a headache, fatigue, and your mind may play games with you. Thinking about sweets all the time, sugary treats, anywhere you look. You just have to plow through this phase. And I promise you, the next steps are going to be very easy. The benefits you will see are immediate. The obvious one being stable blood glucose levels. Also, your inflammation will reduce and you will lose weight. So, how do you quit sugars? The first thing to try is no added sugar. No sugar in your tea or coffee. No sodas. No energy drinks. No fruit juices. No artificial sweeteners like diet soda, fat-free yogurt, or any other zero-calorie food. And no sweets and no desserts. And not even healthy sugars like honey or jaggery. Sugar is a sugar is a sugar, irrespective of its source, and it's all bad. That leaves us with sugar only from natural sources, basically fruits and carbs that are not fiber. All carbs that are not fiber get converted to sugar. The second step is to stop your savory snacks also. These are highly processed carbs that get converted to sugar quickly and spike your blood glucose levels. Basically, stick to 3 meals a day and no snacking in between. And the final step is no natural sugars also, no fruits, and reduce your carbs as much as possible. We'll bring back the fruits and healthy carbs later. Today is day 8, 1 week after being completely off of sugar. I'm trying my first full day fast. I'll just have coffee, black coffee for today. It is week 3. I'm going to start a 3-day fast. I don't think this is needed. I'm ready for the Good Friday 5-day fast. But since I have time, I'm just going to ease into it. Day 1.
Several days later.
It's day 4. I had a good night's sleep. I'm fresh on the road with full of energy. How is this possible with no food for 4 days? Look at my glucose chart. It was stable in the night in the 70s. In the morning when I woke up, it spiked up to 90s with no food intake. Our body is intelligent. Our body has 24 hours of glucose reserves. Glucose stored as glycogen in our liver and muscles. When there's no more glucose from food, and after depleting the glucose reserves, our body starts to produce glucose from fat and protein. Body also switches to ketones as energy source. Ketones are produced by burning fat. Our brain needs glucose, but the rest of the body can work with either glucose or ketones. This is why when we fast or follow a ketogenic diet, we burn fat and lose weight. After 5 days, 120 hours of eating and drinking nothing except water, I'm going to break the fast with this. This is green gram water. After 5 days of no food, my gut is completely reset. This water has enough fiber to kickstart the gut and a little bit of energy to break my fast. 8 hours after consuming green gram water, I had a large piece of salmon and an avocado. Tomorrow I will eat regular food. I made it through this 40-day experiment and 5-day fast. Our body is flexible. It adapts to changes very quickly. It took me only a few days to get off of sugar, and the sugar withdrawal symptoms were very minimal. Within a week, I was doing my 1-day and 3-day fast. If you ask me, should I also fast? I don't recommend 5-day fast or even 1-day fast to anyone. But you should start fasting from sunset to sunrise every single day. This is absolutely critical, and all of us should be doing it in this modern lifestyle. We should stop eating at 6 or 7 p.m. and have at least 4 hours of empty stomach before we hit the bed. This will tremendously improve our gut, the quality of sleep, and stress levels. For all those who say, if I don't eat late at night, I don't sleep well, and wake up in the middle of the night hungry, that's because of your sugar cravings. That's why you should need to get off of sugar first. If you just do one good thing after watching this video, that should be getting off of sugar. And it only takes a week, maybe max 2, to get off of sugar. By the way, when I say sugars, I mean anything that's sweet and also carbs that are not fiber. Whole foods that has both fiber and sugar together, like fruits, nuts, grains, legumes, lentils, are okay. But a modern ultra-processed food that are almost 100% refined carbs are not okay. If you see a nutritional facts sticker on food, you should avoid it. Of the 4 components, food, exercise, sleep, and stress, where should I start? Start with food. Concentrate 80% of your effort on food. Managing your food well with no exercise will work, but the other way around, that is, exercising with no food control, will not work. Basically, stick to 3 meals a day with no snacking in between, and finish your last meal as early as possible and 4 hours before bedtime. Your snacks or sweet indulgence can be part of these 3 meals, but never in between. The order in which you eat your food greatly helps as well. More on that later. Ideally, you should be doing both. Watch what you eat and do some exercises as well, specifically strength training. But any exercise will do, like simple walk after a meal. The food plus exercise combination works wonders. This automatically takes care of the other 2 components, sleep and stress. Look at my sleep averages. 40 days of proper food and exercise has increased my 2025 sleep average by 47 minutes compared to 2024. Not just sleep time, quality also has improved. REM sleep has increased, resting heart rate has decreased, heart rate variability is improved. There is no way to measure stress. I am sure stress level will also improve. Notice throughout this video, I never use the words intermittent fasting or keto or zero carb or weight loss. The focus is on good metabolic health. Weight loss or even weight gain can easily be achieved. Today we consume 90% carbs. That has to go down to a healthy 30%. The remaining should come from 30% good proteins and 30% good fats. That's the ideal combination. To give a shock to your system, you can go down to zero carbs or low carbs for a short duration. But for long-term sustainable health, 1/3 carb, 1/3 protein, 1/3 fat is the right combination. Of the 30% carbs, half of it should come from fiber, basically your veggies and greens. A 10% can be natural sugars from whole foods like fruits, nuts, grains, legumes, and lentils. Snacks and sweet indulgence can be the remaining 5%, but it has to be consumed along with the meal and not in between meals. Now let's talk about the order in which you eat the food. Eat your fibers first. That's basically your veggies and salads. Then comes your proteins and fats, plant or animal-based protein and fats. And finally the sugar, the sweets and desserts. Eating fibers first feeds your gut bacteria and they produce enzymes that slows down the absorption of sugar from the rest of the meal. Proteins and fat make you satiated and keeps you full. Now you don't even need that dessert anymore. But if you consume that sugary dessert at the end, you should keep it within the 5% we discussed earlier. And because of this order in which we eat, your blood glucose spike will be minimal. This is how we traditionally eat meals. Soups and salads first, then main course, and then finally dessert. Proteins can be used to lose or gain weight. Basically, we need 1 gram of protein for every pound of body weight. If you consume more, you will gain weight, and if you consume less, you will lose weight. So if a person is 140 pounds, they need to consume 140 grams of protein every day. For kilos, double your body weight. If you're 70 kilos, you need 70 to 140 grams of protein. Plant or animal-based protein is fine, but in general, vegetarians find it difficult to reach this 140 grams than meat eaters. Add more of those lentils or legumes or soya or paneer. Avoid milk as it is inflammatory. If you eat eggs, take 3 eggs every day, including the yolk. We need to convert these protein into muscles. This is where strength training comes into play. As far as fats, make sure there are good quality fats. Fats from, say, non-inflammatory oil like gingerly oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, olive oil, and ghee. Avoid refined oils and vegetable oils. Other sources of fat are nuts and avocado. If you come this far, thank you. I'm not going to say like this video, subscribe, or hit that bell icon, but instead pick 1 or 2 items from this video and make that change a permanent part of your lifestyle. Please let me know what it is and how it helps you. And if you're type 2 diabetic, please consult a doctor and reverse it without taking metformin. Thank you.